Guys, welcome back to the second reaction on this here today Mystelics reaction channel. Guys, of course, I dropped the previous one. You can definitely check that out in the first comment in the comment box below, as well as the Mystelics Tube app. Download the Mystelics Tube app right there, guys. Of course, I'll pretty much give you a scope across my YouTube content, right? The YouTube channels, and pretty much bring the content on one app. So definitely download the app right there. I know close to 200 of you guys have downloaded the app, so definitely, guys, download the app, and of course you get the vibrations as time goes by on that vibration. But before I get to the whole situation, guys, round of applause for the Mystelics Tube family who have tuned into yet another vibrations on this year reaction video. And of course, don't come out there if you have not done so. Definitely give this video a thumbs up, and also subscribe and turn on that post notifications so you can get all the videos as they tend to come through right there. Now, guys, in this year reaction, we're gonna be continuing the whole situation involving the interesting scope that took place in the bush with the missing girl, and known as, well, missing girl, and, well, more on the madman side, Kian Alexander, aka the madman, right there. And of course, we have Loftus Dura pretty much bringing that news again. I think this one was shot about 5 or 6 days ago, when he actually did a second one to the previous reaction that I did. And of course, he had a number of details. For this one, I think he asked a number of important questions, and I'm going to be sharing a few details with you guys as well on what I found out over that time frame, because there's a lot of interesting scopes that is not adding up at all. And of course, for which Blackmore himself stated on the radio that there was a mistake made. There was a mistake made, and we let me just leave that there. But he definitely said that there was some sort of mistake made, and of course he did acknowledge that Kian himself was a human being, and of course he had family and friends. I don't know if he had friends, but he had family for sure. And of course, as clearly seen in the previous videos, not videos but of audio on the radio station, where the family actually cared about their son. The mother spoke about him, the father spoke about him. They also know about his shortcomings, and not to say that whatever he did, brothers and sisters, because we are finding out that there might be some interesting vibes taking place in Dominica. Not necessarily that Kian himself took the girl. There's a whole kind of vibes, because it could be possible that they were working together. Some individuals was working together with this brother, and could have possibly linked up even for him to take the little one away, but not necessarily him taking the little one in the bush. So individuals searching for the missing little one might be just going in circles over the time, and most likely there's a possibility, well, I don't know if this is the case or not, but based on how the mother disappeared, or the Dominica could be the same situation for the little girl as well. But of course, none of this can be proven. This is just a speculation based off facts, you know, theories, I would have to say, on this regard right there. So they pretty much taking him out would most likely seem like he would know some information in this regard. However, that is just a theory in this regard. I just wanted to point that out right there. But he had some interesting questions that he wants to ask the police individuals out there. But let's take a listen to this. Is interesting stuff going on, brothers and sisters. And if people don't want to pay attention to what is going on, next time it might be you, your family, or somebody you know, close friends or whatever, that this kind of situations happen to. This is why it's important. A number of persons have been talking about, oh, they're happy he's dead, but you don't know if he was actually the one in the first place. That's what we were told. But these things haven't been proven at all. Haven't been proven any way, shape, or form. Nobody saw him with the girl. They saw him by himself. He went up somewhere, they searched the area. No girl found. So where exactly is she? Where exactly is she? Is she dead or is she alive? That's why me personally believe, I think she's alive and well today, brothers and sisters. But I don't think that we are focusing on the right person. I think we are focusing on the wrong set of people. Maybe she could have gone with somebody else who plotted to then take her thing and go overseas. Who knows what's going on? Oh my. Anyways, let's continue right there. Let's get into this. So I'll actually post this video in the description below, guys, because this video is very long. I had to cut it up to ensure that I got the right set of parts right there.
I have at least 5 questions. 5 questions, that is, after I heard the lawyer representing
the family,
the family of Kian this afternoon, or for the better part of the day. I have 5 questions that I want to pose to the state of Dominica.
It's vital.
/ the Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force, okay?
Because we know for a fact that the police has lied. We know for a fact that Kian wasn't shot in his leg. The madman was not shot in his leg. Yet still, police stated that he was given a bullet in his leg. He started running behind him. That's what they stated. But then when it comes down to the aligning of the facts, brothers and sisters, and I wish and I pray God that the family definitely go ahead and take this matter to court. We understand that people might say certain things, say he's a madman, act certain ways and whatnot. But please, I'm begging you guys to take this to court, because this, your family might have acted a certain way, but based off how he acted could actually help a number of other people of preventing certain things from happening in Dominica. So it's a sad situation that has happened to your family member. I personally believe that he should have been alive and well today to definitely tell the story. Why then should they eliminate him so he can't tell the story, knowing that he was the only person? I keep saying that over and over because people don't seem to understand. The only person who would have had the information to know where this little girl is, dead or alive. Brothers and sisters, let's continue.
So what we're going to do now, we're going to go through the interview that was done by Matthias Kelty Jr. and Emoni.
So guys actually reacted to that video right there. That'll of course be in the description below if you guys can check it out as well. I reacted to it, so we're not gonna go through it. He's gonna actually go through it and then ask his questions after. So we're gonna skip right to the part where he's asking the questions, two things. So let's go.
Question number 1 to the Commonwealth of Dominica and the state by extension is: was an autopsy done on the body of Kian Alexander today?
That's a good question right there. On the basis that is a good question because he was cut. He was already cut before he was identified by the family members. It's interesting. It's alleged.
Let me repeat that question. Question number 1. Was an autopsy done on the body?
To perform an autopsy, guys, you have to cut the body. I have a 6th question to ask.
Of Kian.
No, I'll ask the question now.
Alexander today?
Was the body, if it's allegedly was cut, was the body cut in the normal form? Was the body cut in the Y form? Y form? Or was it cut in an upside down hook form? From the stomach, go up. How was the body cut? That's a good question to ask. Let's continue.
At the PMH. Question number 1. If that question from the state, if that answer, to that question from the state is no, then the rest of the questions, they can fall flat. But if yes, if there was an autopsy done without the body being identified, even though the family members were called in to identify the body, and by identifying they simply mean to go in, peep and come out, but the family in fact wanted to do what? They wanted to inspect the body instead, and they did not allow that. Was an autopsy done? Was an autopsy done, as the body is still today marked as unknown? Good question right there. If yes, then the 4 other questions shall apply. The second question I would want to pose to the state at this time / the Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force. If yes, what time? Give us details in terms of time. What is the exact time that autopsy or the proceedings of that autopsy started and ended?
They would never give this information, because for the information to come, this is why I want them to go to court. This is why I want the family to go to court. And I heard that Tiani is pretty much not asking them for any funds. I think that is a good thing. I mean, in the end, most likely, when they win the case, and if they do go through this, they will definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, win the case. Brothers and sisters, they are probably hoping that the family doesn't go through the court system, or they will try to drag it as long as possible. But I hope the family goes through the court system, and then we'll find out all this information that we've been hearing from a number of places. if these questions are viable, what is the time frame that this happened? And of course, the court system will most likely need to be called as a result of that. There's no bending of the law right there, you know. They can kill time, which Dominica tends to do a lot. But the case must call. And that is not just against the state. This is actually against the police themselves for doing things that they should not be doing in the first place. Well, alleged to not have been doing in the first place.
These things are very serious, people.
Very serious indeed.
Those things are very detailed proceedings. And so at least we need to know the time it started and also the time
it ended.
Okay?
Why also, my question there, you ask a question, I give my question, you ask a question, let me give mine. Why wasn't the family then permitted to go in and inspect the body? If everything was done right, if everything was according to standard procedure, why wasn't the family allowed to inspect the body? Why were they prevented to do that? Let's continue.
Question number 3. What were your findings? Again, I want to repeat. What were your findings?
What was the cause of
Again,
death?
I'm asking these questions. That is just in case an autopsy, meaning Kian's body, was split open today. Those questions I'm just asking the state/the Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force. Question number 4. Was the body that autopsy done on?
Alleged autopsy done on.
Was it properly identified by the family members of Kian Alexander?
Yep.
Again.
Good question. We all know the answer to this. It was all over the YouTube, all over Facebook and thing, and they posted it up waiting for 5 hours and 37 minutes exactly, and that was when they took they left with it. I think they left with the body, and then they were trying to find out questions, so the family was there for even longer than that. So it's interesting what kind of information is out there. Let's go.
Was the body that autopsy was done on,
identified,
or that splitting open was done on, was properly identified by the family members of Kian Alexander?
The answer to that, guys, I can answer it for you because it's well known out there. No, it was not identified. Up to today, that body is still marked as unknown. So if that body is marked as unknown, that means the madman is still outside there if he hasn't been identified. True or false? It could be somebody else because they refuse to allow the family, well, not necessarily refuse, but they refuse to let the family come in and inspect the body. They just want them, initially, they just want them to come and peep, see, and then go. They don't want them to inspect the body. So, that is a good question. If that body is unknown, then the possibility of the real person out there who allegedly kidnapped, abducted the little one is still out there. So that simply means that there's a huge possibility that they already know who is there, refuse to allow the family members to properly, and by properly I mean inspect, properly identify the body to say yes, this is the person, and as a result you would not need to go still be out there searching for the madman unless you know it's the madman you have for real. But the body, he has to be identified, and I refuse to make the family come and inspect the body. Interesting stuff. And the great question that he is asking, was there an autopsy done? My question was, if they allegedly cut the body, was the body cut in normal way it was supposed to cut, or was it cut in a hook-like format? So it normally cuts like a Y, and then they inspect, you know, when they're doing their thing. But instead of it being cut like a Y, it seems like there's a ledge that it was cut this way, the stomach way, on the indication where there could have been the probability factor where no gunshot wounds were located in the legs. It was only in the pelvic region, and it was not necessarily, from what we are hearing, it's not necessarily from the stomach region, but the pelvic area. And it's not just one, because if a guy is attacking you, I don't think you'll be shooting one bullet, beep, and thing. You might want to shoot him more than once. Interesting stuff, ain't it? Let's continue.
And last but by no means least, question number 5. After all was said and done, was that body of Kian Alexander transported back to the funeral home under
Police protection.
Again, question number 5.
The big question here, guys, has this kind of situation ever happened before? Under police protection, this is not a president, this is not a prime minister, this is not a constituent, somebody in the government, this is not a police individual, this is somebody known as the madman. Under police protection, he can't run away. He can't run away under police protection. So you put double protection to ensure that nothing could happen for certain information to be leaked. That's an interesting times that we live in, brothers and sisters. They're passing the ball. This is not anybody. This is a madman. He's known as a madman in society. This is not a government official. Not anybody who's a rich person in society who have plenty more. You can do certain things. You know, they will try to take his body and have it for ransom and say, okay, give me your money, I'll give you back the money. You know, nothing like that. But under police protection, if that is the case right there, if that is the case under police protection, so you're making sure that nothing could have, if the family member decide to ambush the thing, nothing could have happened, or you want to protect that body so much. Why? And like I said before, guys, this is not necessarily about Kian, so to speak. It's just unfortunate that is the case. And like I said before, the court would then have to prove that he did abduct the little one. The court have to a number of things to prove, but it seems like the police decided to take it on themselves to be judge, jury, and executioner. One time.
After all was said and done, was that body of Kian Alexander transported back to the funeral home under police protection? Many more questions, but at least these 5 questions for now, and for sure as the investigation continues on.
The big question is, who is doing the investigations though? If the police did something, that's my according 5, give 5, that's my 10th question. Who is doing the investigation? If the police is responsible for doing something, and they are the ones at fault for not following standard procedure, for doing things that they shouldn't have done in the first place, and you're hearing all these kind of things happening, who is doing the investigation to investigate the very police themselves, or is the police investigating their own selves? Because the police can cover up for themselves, you know. And like I said before, I've seen this over and over. This is why I constantly saying to other police officers, all you seen police officers doing things, I watch all you watching police officers doing things, and all you not saying nothing about it. But when people in the community complain about the police now, they want to say, but I wasn't there, I wasn't that. But you refuse to tell them, stop their dirty ways. You refuse. So it's interesting.
These questions will become very, very important. So
family members, I'm begging you, please take this. I think Tiani is in a good position right there for this thing to happen. Follow with the whole procedure and everything, because you need to hold these people accountable. Because if this thing escapes just like that, what's gonna happen next? When different things tend to happen, you remember, guys, when we were talking about the $1.2 billion missing from the Prime Minister, well, alleged to be missing from well, not alleged to be missing, they say it was missing, the opposition stated that it was $1.2 billion missing in passport sales. We stated this, right? This was swept under the rug. The next year, $2.3 billion was missing. Nobody said nothing about it. That was swept under the rug. Next year, $4.3 billion was missing. Nobody said drag. So when you allow one to go, brothers and sisters, you see it move from 1.2 to $4.3 billion. Around $4.3 billion. So all you don't see the trend that happening. All you not seen.
Flash interesting questions. Dominicans, I said, I'm not going to be long tonight for sure. So basically, my stint with you has come to an end.
He also said some other things I found interesting.
Had rights that should have been protected.
Yeah, he did have rights, regardless of what he did, and I still maintain that he should have been kept alive, unless the police themselves will also. And guys, I'm don't get me wrong. You're not saying all the police. I'm saying that there's a possibility that probably the individuals who would know about that situation, let's say the police was involved, they told Kian go and get the girl and whatnot, you know, whatever situation, for whatever reason, they told her he did went in, and then he said when you do it, you run and thing, you know, maybe you're trying to chase him, whatever, at that time. So maybe some police officers knew what was going on, while other police officers don't know what was going on at all, and they themselves think everybody don't know what was going on. And as a result, now, when they met him with the instructions that the other police officers didn't know, they decided, you know what? Well, when we find him, then we need to take him out. And as a reason of that particular officer or officers who might have known about that situation, because that's what makes sense. Why are they protecting it so much? Why are they protecting him so much in this regard, protecting body, all kind of thing, like that don't make sense. It don't making sense, brothers and sisters. And if it's a madman that been travel under police protection, who going to try to thief the body of the madman? Unless there's something to hide. I mean, common sense might be depleting across the world, but my common sense don't deplete for me, no? It doesn't deplete for me. This is why I tend to do reactions in the way I do, you know, based off common sense. The actions that have been stated versus what is being stated by the people performing the actions, and then being contrary to what the standard action should have been. Why? And then protecting the actions that have been performed, protecting these actions that have been performed against standard procedures. So I mean, it doesn't take rocket science to understand logic in these kind of things. Something has been going on. I understand some people were mad at the guy saying he take it. Who knows? That is another big question. Who knows if he was the one who took the one, or he was an accomplice? Because it's rather interesting when mother get kidnapped, well, allegedly kidnapped, or a mother disappear, and the same thing happening to the daughter. Two things that pop up in my mind. One, the mother goes somewhere and checking she want that child, so she sends somebody, maybe still know somebody inside there, you know, hush vibrations, you know, and say, okay, Kian might, because they're related. He has access to going inside there into the place where the little girl was staying. He has access. He normally goes inside there for food and stuff. So there's a possibility of that. Second, you know about organs on the black bucket? Maybe, I'm just saying this, maybe the mother who was with the white man ended up disappearing somewhere. The mother, I'm just saying, you know, reason, you know, trying to see what makes sense. Maybe the mother disappeared and the white man organs or whatever, because that has happened on the eastern side of the world. Who knows? The white partner could have been from the eastern side. Who knows? Organs on the black market. Maybe they tested her. She had the blood, same blood or whatnot. Be befriending her nice and whatnot. And then you got the organs, and then maybe as a result of, you know, that mother having that little one, maybe something happened to that individual's son or daughter or something, and they need a smaller organ. I'm just saying, I don't know if that is the case, but this madness tends to happen. This is the world that we live in. I made a post speaking about what Dr. Peterson said, and he said, Young is some philosophical Asian individual, and he said, Young said, you will never know what it is to be good if you never understood how great a depth of evil that we have within us. You will never know what it is to be good if you never understand the great depth of evil that you have. And I remember the Bible said something very, very profound in that regard. He said, the heart of man is deceitfully above all, desperately wicked. Woo! Hey! So sometimes people might pretend. I think of the man that probably he might pretend to have been nice to her, I'll give you the world and everything. Come, I have my boat and everything. Let's go and whatnot. Who knows what happened? She may be gone boat and disappear after that. Who knows? But it's a heck of a thing, brothers and sisters. That is a heck of a thing right there, to be thinking about this kind of situations. Little Dominica, these things happening in. And she disappeared without a trace. Nobody cared. When the mother disappeared, it's only like 2 months after somebody made I think it was a mother who made the post and stated about her daughter was missing and this kind of things there. No post was made in truth, but there was a newspaper article that went out 2 months and some weeks later that stated that she disappeared. After the mother checking, but wait a while, my daughter, always like 2 weeks or something, I will always see my daughter. And then all of a sudden, 2 months and something later, it disappeared, which popped in my head that if every 2 weeks that you see your daughter, you wait for 2 months and a half for you, maybe the mother herself was, boy, you mad. That just popped in my head there. I'm just speculating on certain situations, not saying that the mother did anything, but the possibility of these things happening could be. And the reason why I opened my mind to saying that Kian most likely may not have been the abductor, based on what the lawyer was saying, they needed to prove this. Because truth and in fact, brothers and sisters, correct me if I'm wrong, truth and in fact, there's literally no witnesses that indicated that Kian abducted the girl, except for that husband, the pastor guy. And it could be that when Kian did that to the pastor guy, the girl probably rushed out. That could be another thing. The girl probably rushed out because she was scared. And then maybe somebody else took and go. And Kian self got free because of what he did. And then, who knows, brothers and sisters? This is why it's important for the court system to come in, so we can find out exactly what went on. But we already know that the police is lying. Because the police are giving the police, AG, and it's having another one that giving conflicting details. Police black man and the AG, they're giving conflicting details in the reports. This is one of the factors I heard Black Mo saying about mistake. I remember clearly. And then saying about Kian was a human being as well. You know, and this kind of things. Oh, you making mistake. And then coming on here and say he was attacking you. Which mistake you make to let me know your thoughts in this regard right there, guys. This is pretty much all about for this year, vibes. But there's another thing I think you were saying.
And let due course work its way through the courts, huh?
Should.
To be taking matters in your hand, as it seems that is what went on. I don't know.
Taking matters in your own hands because you feel, unless some of you knew what was going on. It's an interesting world, guys. It's a very interesting world right there in the Nature Island Caribbean, Dominica. Guys, be mindful of the weather. Of course, there's weather conditions coming. By the way, guys, check out the previous video. Like I said before, I have a number of information on multiple weather patterns coming to the Nature Island Caribbean. Hopefully, it passes before and after the cricket, brothers and sisters, so we can definitely go and watch the T20. We want to see some excitement, man. Dominica needs some excitement. Sunshine on Saturday and Sunday. Yeah. Anyways, guys, before I said it, let me know your thoughts in this regard of the things I talk about. Do you see some sentiment in what I'm saying? Do you understand the question choices that he Lofty gave? Are they good? What are your thoughts, man? What are your thoughts on the situation? It's interesting. And guys, when people are giving their speculations and their theories and things, it have to make sense. You cannot come and talk nonsense like the thing I did some foolish, irrevocable rubbish that not making no sense at all. If you're speculating on certain things, make sure your speculations align with common sense now, please. Stop putting foolishness out there. Anyways, guys, with all that stated, definitely download the app, the Mystelics Tube app, in the first comment in the comment box below, guys. And of course, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. I would appreciate that right there. That help the algorithm push the videos further. And of course, don't forget to subscribe and turn on that post notification so you can get all the videos as they tend to come through. I'll see you guys in the next reaction video. Boom bang.